Hey there, welcome to the channel. So today I want to talk about the impossibility of replacing the Nord Stream 1 gas supply with LNG. Okay, so for starters, um, we have the EU trying to sanction Russian oil and Russian energy and Russian gas. And so one of the things I wanted to take a look at is I wanted to try to figure out, well, okay, if they want to get off natural gas and they want to like basically turn off Nord Stream 1, um, and replace it with some other source. In particular, there's talk of trying to get LNG as to replace it. Well, let's look at that and see how feasible that is. So, for starting, you can look up here online and you can see here that we have 55 billion cubic meters. Okay, so this is what the Nord Stream 1 pipeline can transport: 54 billion cubic meters a year of gas. Okay, so that is the benchmark. That is what basically the leaders in EU would like to replace. So if we were going to do that, since we're not talking about another pipeline at this point, pipelines are very big projects, 10-year plus projects, et cetera. And of course, where are you going to get the gas from? So one of the proposals would be to use LNG. And so this is where basically you have natural gas will come to a port. They have a way of basically condensing the gas, cooling it down, basically putting it on these specialized ship that have these big domes and basically transporting it. But the question is, how much natural gas does one of these LNG ships carry? Well, they're saying over here, I just looked it up from this website, Natural Gas Intel, the majority of modern vessels are between 125,000 meters cubed and 175,000 meters cubed. Okay, so if we kind of picked a value of 150,000 meters cubed, that would be a reasonable estimate. Okay, now how many tankers are out there right now? So if we search for that, we can go to this website here, and they're talking right now 641 active vessels as of 2022. Okay, so we'll just use these numbers to try to get an idea. Now, one of the things they note, they have 45 floating storage and regasification units and 5 floating storage. So the storage units, those may not actually be transport vessels. They may not be able to travel. So you could probably subtract the 45. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. So let's go play with these numbers and get some kind of an estimate as to what it would take to replace the Nord Stream 1. So over here, what I'm doing is so meters cubed. So I just have meters, meters, meters. And here we have our Nord Stream 1, right? So we got 55 times 10 to the 9. That's 55 billion cubic meters per year. The number of active carriers, 641. We know that's already a little bit higher. The average LNG ship capacity, we're going to use the mid of those numbers, but a lot of these ships are actually probably smaller ships, and there's probably some that are much larger super type ships. So look, how many shipments per year to replace Nord Stream 2? So now we're just talking about a shipment. Okay. So a shipment, what we would do is we would take the 55 billion and divide it by the average LNG ship capacity of 150,000. And this would be the number of shipments that would have to be used. So you have 366,667. So that's a lot of shipments. Now, how many shipments per ship? You take the number of shipments and divide it by the number of ships. So you divide 641 into there. That means each ship of the 641 needs to do 572 shipments a year. There's only 365 shipments days in the year. So using in a very optimistic 1 week turnaround, saying that you could go load up in New Jersey and get that ship over to Europe in 1 week, 52 weeks a year, operating 20, you're short a lot. How much are you short? Well, you're short here. You have 52 and you really need 572 per ship, assuming you could do that. So you are short 520 shipments per ship per year. So looking at these numbers, you clearly see that there is no hope of replacing the capacity of Nord Stream 1 with LNG. It's just not an option. There's no option at all. You can't replace even a significant portion of it. So, what does that mean? What that means is that any talk of sanctioning Russian gas or thinking that you're going to come up with some other place to get natural gas is just unrealistic in any way. It's not realistic. And if you shut that natural gas off, you're going to deindustrialize Germany, the key economy in Europe, and you're going to destroy that economy and you're going to destroy the EU economy as well. So this is a horrible thing. This is really basic numbers, and you can pick each one of these numbers apart and say it should be this or that. But I can tell you that if you spend 2 weeks researching data, this is probably an optimistic assumption. Okay. So that's where the situation is with that. So there's no hope in doing that at all.